And we are back from the break. The party is all ready to head on into the inner planets. Um, so you guys get a good night's rest, and you set out the next day. Um, and do you want to head to Thalakor first, or on the way back?
I kind of thought we were doing it on the way back.
Well,
I think way back.
Anyone got a preference?
If we do it ahead of time, then we'll learn information about the major city. A major elven place.
Thalakor has no permanent ports.
Yeah, this was just a land on a watery moon. See what's there.
Oh, sorry.
We'll do that on the way back then.
Okay. All right. You can go ahead and move your ship.
Oh, we're there. Hang on. I might need to zoom in a bit.
Yeah.
Where is
I mean,
he?
we are not preventing you from tuning in.
No, I couldn't get to the plus and minus because I had my character highlighted and all the clicky things were in the way. Right, so we're moving there then.
Okay. Also, everyone should be fully healed if you haven't set your hit points.
Yeah, and I think I've got to take a year off my age because we didn't really age, did we?
Nope. That was just in the dream. Okay.
The last few sessions were just a dream.
All just a dream, but you still learned some things.
Yeah.
All right, so you have 4 days of fairly uneventful travel. Is there anything in particular anyone wants to be doing during that time? You'll have plenty of time to get all your spells memorized, so you don't need to worry about documenting exactly what you get memorized on what day and stuff like that.
I'll just check to see on my stone carving how long. 5 weeks. That's annoying. I mean, I can try to go ham on it, but
if you try to go faster, you're more likely to...
No, I don't mean, within reason, as much time as I can.
You're like any attempt to speed it up risks, puts penalties to your checks. So
no, the usual. Another 4 days on it. But
okay.
I add it in week increments. Would I have been idle while waiting on the elven base? Idle as in time I would have had time to do stuff with it. Oh no, I'll memorize these spells now. Never mind.
I mean, you after the dream adventure, yes, you would have because you were exhausted and you needed time to recover. Before that, no, you could have spent a few days on that. All right, anyone else?
Solas is going to be checking the library if there's any stories about the dream creature.
Okay. Braxon?
Braxton's going to brief the crew on our short stopover to get supplies before we go off with the Elven Navy on our continuing voyage home. And he's going to tell whoever we use as sub-officers to help us work out the rota for who's having shore leave.
All right. The crew will be quite excited
not to be late coming back.
Yeah. The crew will be quite excited about getting shore leave. You can detail out how, do you want to do it in terms of, everyone has to be back on the ship at night kind of thing? Do you want to have give them fairly free reign for the whole, 2 weeks that you're there, that kind of thing. With exceptions to make sure that there are people back on the ship too. You know, like, how do you want to organize that?
We'll have to have some. Well, are
I
we
mean, it
able
would
to
be in
land the
shifts,
big ship?
so not everyone would be allowed to leave
Yeah.
at the same time. But is it
I
the kind of
mean-
thing of, like, you
We're at
know,
a friendly port. We can have a skeleton crew because, for the most part, we're not going to be on the ship, and we'd be under the protection of the local port.
I would suggest that everyone has to be back on the by the midnight on the or by the night on the last shore leave day, and before that they can have a free range if they want to come back before the night or not. But they would have to basically report themselves that they are still alive and well every now and then.
Yeah,
like
that sounds good.
once a day.
I mean, if they have to report back in once a day, then you might as well just have them come back to the ship, because
They can't go away on like
Can't go very
camping
far.
trips.
Well, once in every few days.
Oh, yeah.
I-
I think that's too loose because we don't want to leave the ship totally vacated.
well, no, I mean,
So-
there would be a rotation of who can go at what time, so that there's always people on the ship.
We're not.
There's
Guarding
gonna
prisoners
need to
either.
be work done on the ship anyway. I mean, every time you get into port, there needs to be some stuff done, just minor repairs, you know, cleaning, that, you know, all that sort of thing. So you can't let everyone go, but it's more of a question of, like, do you
We
let
are going to be
like 2/3 go for, you know, and like stagger it so that you they can be gone for multiple days, or are they only allowed to have, like, leave the ship for the day and come back in the evening, kind of thing, and rotate
I
out
say
who's
2 days
allowed.
at a
suggest-
time.
2 days.
Yeah, if
I
we make
suggest that they're allowed to go away for a few days, even more than 2, if they announce, if they tell us where they want to go and for how long.
If you do more than 2 days, that means the other crew have to be staying on the ship for that many days. That's why I think
Yeah.
2 days in and out. I mean, if they get drunk, they get plastered out in the field somewhere, then they don't have to report back early in the morning. It's the next day. It gives them a day to recover from whatever they did.
Yeah, let's
Also,
yeah, go on.
also, if they get into fights, they have to stay on board the rest of the time.
Well, we are going to be on the friendly port, so getting
Well,
into
we
fight.
give them the usual
You
dressing
still
down.
get drunk
Don't
in a
kill people.
tavern.
Yes, exactly. So no fights.
Not unless you got the money to pay off a fine.
If we give them a couple of days, because the people on the ship can't go out until the others come back, so we'll have a
but
cou-
2 day
if-
rotations are good.
Yeah.
if we were going to be there on for 2 weeks about, then we can easily give them everyone at least 2 days
Yeah.
free.
That's what I'm saying. 2 days. And also, just in case we need to leave early for some reason, which I don't think we will, but it means they'll be checked in and everyone would have had some leave.
All right. Okay. So you begin working out the schedule for that, and the crew is quite excited for that. And the first 4 days of your trip inward are uneventful.
I wonder if any of the crew are going to try and drop off. Like, permanently. You know, friendly area. You know, not risking life or limb.
Well, some of them came from that other crystal sphere.
Yeah.
This might seem friendlier. Hopefully not.
And
Shall I move another square?
Yep. Go ahead and do so.
Is that another 4 days?
So that's
I
8 days.
will add a week to my thing.
All right. Anything else that anyone wants to do?
4 weeks left of my sculpture. This might be like bonus time if I get time to do it, but I will discuss with Finn at some point about my sculpture and whether or not amber fruit, little fruit things or something would be like a good addition. Because we got spare amber. Yeah, might be able to get a little piece of fruit or berries or something that makes it look pretty. You can give me advice on that, since being the man of nature, he would know a good representation. Maybe he gives me pointers or something.
Okay.
What is it you're looking for?
No, you think little amber fixtures added to my jade and my jade sculpture of a tree would add or take away value from it.
You're the artist.
Yeah, I'll do it. Little things.
Put their bunches of bananas hanging from the tree.
Braxon's
That
gonna.
reminds me, I need to find some powdered amber.
We got plenty of amber. I can just powder it for you, unless you want specific age.
No, that doesn't need to have a specific age.
No, we got plenty
Yeah,
of them.
the one of the statues we fought in the craft sphere was made out of amber, if I remember correctly, and we did collect its chunks.
Okay.
Solas is going to continue researching the library for the dream monster until he is certain that there is or isn't any knowledge of the creature or stories about the creature.
Yeah, you don't find anything that feels on point.
Okay.
You have some stuff about dreams and things like that, but nothing really about like the that specific type of thing. It tends to be more about like magic that can affect dreams and things like that. All right. So go ahead and move your ship into the center of the ring,
Okay.
and you will pop on over to the inner ring.
Is this the same 8?
Yeah, 4 more
Just now
days
going
pass.
to 12.
Yep.
Oh, there I'm on this, where this asteroid is.
Yeah.
Was it? Was the asteroid we were after going to in that belt, or?
It
This one.
is.
Yeah.
It is up here. Let me see if I
Right.
have revealed the name.
Nope.
There we go.
No, just see it now.
Yep. So that one you might want to visit on the way out as well.
Yeah. So we were going. Was it Arakockerel we were going to?
Aracol.
Arakockerel. Sorry.
Give me just a second.
And we do 4 of these in a day.
5 of these in a day.
5 of these in a day. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
So we've done 12 days so far.
Yes.
12, and now we're on 5-day squares.
Yeah.
So as you're passing through the asteroid belt, which is it's not a very dense asteroid belt. The density tends to happen in clusters as opposed to just like an overall density. It does allow you to just spell jam right through when you for the most part. You do drop out of spelljamming speed to see a distant vessel that does seem to be actively avoiding you. The shape appears similar to a dragon ship, so it is considerably smaller than yours.
Dragon, isn't that like a I'm
Shao.
trying to think. Shao ship. Do we know of Shao ships being here? Would the Elven Imperial Navy have told us? The rundown of what's bad, what's good in this sphere.
Braxon, go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
Okay. Hang on. I think I need to click on me rather than the ship.
So
Or
I know
I'll be
when I
check-
did commune, there was potential for
I'll be checking the intelligence of the ship.
bandits and, the usual riffraff, but there wasn't like any hostile war or anything.
All right,
think I
so
was able to
Braxon,
discern.
based on the I mean, there's pirates. There's always pirates. So, whether this is a pirate or not, you don't know, but that's always a possibility in any kind of settled sphere. All right,
Mhm.
Braxton. So, thinking about what you've been told about the sphere, it sound like there are differences in what you can see of this vessel versus standard dragon ships, but it is similar enough to kind of fit with that theme. And you'd guess it's probably a vessel from a nation of Tengu that lives on Ericol. From what you've been informed of, that's what you think it probably is, and it seems to be actively avoiding you. You have a vessel that's unrecognized in this place.
Yeah.
And your vessel is also
Huge.
Big,
well, not
scary.
huge, but
unusual, so we don't know its capabilities.
it's unusual and considerably larger than theirs. So it could be a merchant, it could be a pirate, and it could just be someone who wants to avoid a confrontation with someone who is potentially dangerous. You can't make out any details. They're too far away.
Brax is going to try signaling them, but if they run away, he's going to let them run away.
What are you going to signal?
Greetings. This is the. What are we?
Company of the Broken Sword.
Yeah, we're the blade out of. I was trying to remember with the blade or the hilt. This is the blade out of the Elven world. What's the name of the Elven world we just come out from?
Krokorath.
It would specifically be. Give me a second.
It was that moon, wasn't it?
Yeah, it would be the moon. And I need to refresh my memory on that.
Well, that's what he would send anyway.
Yeah.
We're the blade out of that moon going to this planet.
Darethal.
Yeah.
All right. They signal back their name, and they indicate that they're a merchant vessel and they want no trouble. They have no. They're only carrying bulk cargo, they say. So they have nothing to trade with another vessel.
Brax is going to send back. We're not looking for trouble either.
Good luck on your travels.
Yeah, good luck on your travels.
All right. And they basically wish you good luck as well, and get away from you as quickly as they can. All right. All right, so you can go ahead and travel 5 blocks.
Okay.
And that'll be a day.
Right.
I think we are
now
11 blocks out, so...
1, 2... Well, from what I can tell, it's fastest to just go straight in. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, hang on.
So this is day 13 now.
Yep.
Yeah, and then just up the next
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, it's 6.
6. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I was just wondering if we went in another ring, whether we'd be faster. It doesn't seem to make any difference.
This is...
No,
Spelljammer is not conducive to keeping track of... personal projects. Like spam
I mean,
days.
nothing really is, and I mean, imagine trying to do
Yeah,
this
but it's
overland or something.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the benefit that most
More
of the travel we
consistent.
do is on the ship.
So the rest of the day is uneventful, and you can
Yeah.
go ahead and advance another 5.
Okay. The thing Braxton's doing, by the way,
Mhm.
is he's doing some praying to Ptah, and he's trying to remember if Ptah sacrificed anything over the years that might match up with what the wounded warrior sacrificed.
Ptah's a creation deity, so he doesn't do a whole lot of sacrificing.
Yeah.
I am
Okay.
now on week 13 out of 16.
So you can go ahead and advance 5 blocks.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, so early on the and that day is uneventful as well. And early on the next day, you will get into orbit around Erekal. It has no moons. The world below you has less water than you're used to. The oceans are smaller, but you can see like pretty clearly from above vast green swaths of forested lands, mountains cutting through all of that, many mountain ranges, and the information that you were given to locate the port you want will take you to the mountains and a high valley of the largest mountain range on the planet. And
are
you
we
can
going to
see
be able to do a dry dock down there, or are we going to have to take the little ship and bring everyone up and down on that?
You were informed that they have facilities for vessels of your size.
Right.
You can see that all around that location are a number of other valleys with like high mountain walls on them, canyons, that sort of thing. It's like as you're heading down, you can see that like the planet is a planet of height extremes.
Right.
Like you just in orbit, you saw no or very few low mountains of things that you would consider low mountains. Everything is very high, very jagged. Not too many that are actually so high as to be like snow-capped. I mean, there are snow-capped peaks, but not like huge glaciers and whole sections that are covered in ice. In general, it's just more in terms of the elevations are all very quick. So there's a lot of lowlands and highlands, and they're just very, like the transition between these are very sharp and extreme.
Must be a nightmare for ground walking folk.
Yes, conveniently enough, there's not a whole lot of those. You've been informed that most of the creatures can fly. Most of the intelligent races can fly. And you are coming down, and as you're approaching, you are intercepted by an elven man-o-war that approaches you, signaling, asking for your identification and your intentions.
We'll give our identification and say where we've come from, and we're on a brief visit here before we escort some Elven Navy ships out of the sphere. And thank you for the escort.
And indeed, they do escort you and then direct you to put in at a public docking facility. You approach the city, which you've been informed is called Calathardriel.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, that's the realm. The city itself is Erdra Thalinar. And this is an incredibly beautiful and impressive city of vast glass, crystal, and marble spires reaching up into the sky, covering a mountain slope, one of these high, steep mountain slopes.
So,
yeah,
Edithranafar is
the city.
just a city on.
It's the
Paracord.
capital. It's the capital.
Right. Okay.
A lot of Averial architecture, yeah.
Yes. You would recognize this as Averial architecture. You've seen more like artwork of
Word
it
of
rather than
mouth.
actual seen it. I'm sorry.
It's like word of mouth or like textbooks.
I mean, they're paintings. They're paintings back on Evermeet of stuff like that, like the ancient Averial cities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let me spell out the names for you. Give me just a second.
Braxon's going to give a warning to the crew before they go on leave. And he's going to say that.
Down.
Talking down? No, he's not going to give him a talking down. He's going to say, don't forget that you're taking shore leave on a planet where people can fly. And they might forget you can't fly. So be careful about walking off of a cliff with someone.
So the city does stretch down to the base of the cliff, the mountains, into the valley itself. And you can see that there are some, Lafdul would recognize that some of the buildings down there have more typical elven architecture.
Is it better or worse than Evermeet at a glance?
You would put it similar.
Oh. That's a high bar to reach, I'd imagine, for Lafdul.
I mean, like, you've never actually seen an Averial city, so in certain ways, this is absolutely more impressive and gorgeous, but it's more in terms of, like, they've done things that you haven't seen on Evermeet because there just aren't Averial on Evermeet. But it does match up similarly to paintings you've seen of ancient Averial cities.
Oh, the amount of books Lafdul's going to be buying of like every piece of like architecture, design documents, everything.
But there are facilities down on the floor of the valley that would be less, like, especially for anyone who's worried about, heights and stuff like that. They can get down there and enjoy themselves. You were guided into a floating dock area that locks you in place but doesn't disrupt your gravity plane.
Oh.
And you can see some Elven man-o-wars docked there, and some other vessels, which are pretty clearly traders from elsewhere in the sphere and outside the sphere, and things like that.
How are we getting to and fro to the surface? I mean, apart from a dock, or can we just...
There are stairs and lift-like structures that you can take up and down.
Fair enough.
And some lightly enchanted ships, but those tend to be like you have to pay a couple gold pieces to use them.
Gold?
They don't have helms, but yeah, gold.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rich blood.
Oh yeah.
This place.
Oh, yeah.
If it's transport's gold.
I mean, it takes magic to enchant those, so using them is going to be expensive.
Is it just one destination? That's it. There's no like use it for a day fee.
Yeah, basically, just takes you up and down faster. I mean, they'll go to specific places, like they have to dock. But yeah, it's not cheap to do that kind of thing. It's not, and they're not there aren't that many of them. But it is the kind of thing that it's certainly faster to get down, but it is and much more comfortable and stuff like that. But it's certainly not for the people who don't have a whole lot of coin. So you get a basic rundown of where everything is. You do have to pay a docking fee of 70 silver, so that's 7 gold.
Per day, or?
Yes, per day. And if you're going to be there for 2 weeks, you can pay that in advance.
A discount for multiple weeks?
Nope.
Oh, come on! You gotta get a bit of business acronym in here. You gotta try.
You haggling at Spelljammer.
Oh, that's what I'm not old people did.
So that would be
Oh.
98 gold for the full 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. It's recorded.
Okay.
Thank you.
As a side note,
yeah.
I presume we're not going to be leaving this world by the end of the session, so it'd be like we would have opportunity to sell stuff here. That's
Yes.
what I'm getting at.
Yes.
Do we have a price range?
Um.
What else? This is a major city, so I assume.
Yeah, it's gonna like any normal stuff that you want to buy. Like if there's normal equipment from the player's handbook, it's gonna be player's handbook prices. So, if it's just like oh yeah, I wanted to get some more pitons, or I wanted to get some more writing supplies, or whatever. It's just standard player's handbook prices.
I think the party members should all buy crampons because they're really useful.
Some stuff may be more difficult to find, but yeah, I mean they'll have common equipment and items and weapons and armor and things like that. Well, maybe not armor.
Like a market or bazaar or like setup stands for the day.
There
Hire outs.
there really isn't a bazaar per se, but there are some roads
Auction houses
for shops and stuff like that. Now the nature of these roads tends to be like the city. It rises up from the floor of the valley below you, and stretches out like up to the top of the mountains above you, and it's hundreds of feet. And they tend to be terraced with like towers, kind of like curving outward and upward at each level and stuff like that. So it's especially when the sun hits just right. It's like light glitters everywhere from all of the glass and crystal.
How are the dwarves reacting to this city? I'm like, are they like, oh, why can't everything be vertical? I mean, horizontal.
So your
vertical.
crew, the humans are like just flabbergasted by all of this. Just like agape in amazement at how everything works, wondering how so much of this stuff doesn't just fall down, kind of thing.
What's the gravity like?
Gravity's normal.
Hmm.
But elves are very good at making this kind of architecture. The Herwadi are a little bit grumbly that there's not a whole lot of water. There is a river down through the valley, but no like lakes or anything like that within the city itself. There are some fountains and things like that, and they're impressed by that. But the architecture itself, to a certain extent, the Herwadi are kind of like, take it or leave it. The dwarves, they begrudgingly respect the architecture, but are also like, why not just build into the cliff face? So much easier that way. Why are you building all this stuff out? Just build into the cliff face. I don't understand this. You elves are so weird about how you like to build. So much more practical to just build into the cliff face. That's their kind of attitude. They acknowledge the impressive architecture, though.
What about the GIF?
The GIF was just like, where's the smoke powder? And you know,
There's a whole
if
lack
you
of
if you
smoke
take the
powder.
peak off of that these spires here, you could get a good cannon emplacement and have almost 360-degree rotation, fire at anyone coming in to attack. So that's their attitude.
Tactical breakdown of defensibility.
Yeah. So after docking, the crew gets their their leave rotation and orders on what they're going to need to do, and you guys can start investigating like shops and things like that. Let's go ahead and start out with Braxon. What are you interested in doing?
Well, it'll help with any of the stuff that we need to sell. But after that, he wants to go see if he can find a great helm, I think, and see if he can find someone that will make it look pretty.
Okay.
So basically like an artistic-looking one.
Yeah.
You get your holy symbol.
Could do, yeah.
I'm trying to figure the right word. Etched on. Filigree.
Patar is
engraved or something. Yeah, there's a lot of things you could get done.
A hand.
Wasn't it like a mummified hand or something?
It is a mummified hand. I don't know if Braxon would have time to get that commissioned.
I mean,
if you are just getting some minor alterations to an item done, that shouldn't be a problem. If you want a whole new helmet constructed, that's going to be different.
What I was figuring is find someone who's already made a helmet, if there is one, and if they don't have the great helmet, I'll try for the little helms, and then see if someone can, do some like engraving and stuff, with some other, something like some useful words for his god or something like that.
There are going to be ample opportunities. There are plenty of artisans in this city.
I think every area are pretty good artisans in general.
Yeah.
They're the more artistic elves. As a collective.
All right, so your first order of business is to get some things sold off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Generally, we've got a lot of gems, maybe a few magical items here or there. I mean, as we'd organize, like, I would like to see if there's like an auction house we could hire out for the day, advertise that, we've got all this to sell off or something, a market bazaar spot.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't really have a bazaar environment.
Wow.
Most of the stuff is handled through, like, ships come in and bulk sell stuff.
Just selling to retailers then?
Yeah, you'd be fine. You'd be looking for some like jewelers that you'd want to sell that stuff to. Solas.
First day he's basically going to just go around the various shops to resupply, and then he's going to visit the local taverns and such. And after that, the next day he's going to try and get access to the various libraries in the city.
All right.
I just
starting with the Royal Library.
Yes, Lafdul.
Our spell casters and our spell component costs.
You did that fairly recently, didn't you?
Did we?
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone remember if they did?
I think we did it when we entered the Elven base, since they had some.
I think we did the mundane stuff.
Yeah, for the normal stuff, not for the specific what you need to have crafted.
All right, then you won't need to do that then. But obviously, if there's anything that you anything specific that you want,
Is there a
you can do
bakery
that.
around? Oh, well,
Oh,
I'll wait
there's-
until my
yeah,
turn.
there's-
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Do we-
Ockar.
Do we need to get pearls and stuff?
Yeah, probably.
Ockar, are you muted?
What?
What do you want to do in the port?
Or
Well, I mean,
Is
like
this
like
just-
first thing kind of thing.
well, is this? Are we actually like at a city or something?
Yeah.
I guess
Ninja.
I'll ask around to see if anybody knows about any like guild animal trainers or anything.
Oh, okay.
That's a fault. You can fly around on Behemoth.
I can.
Considering
Yeah,
how
This
awkward this
city
place
this
is
city
to
is made
get
for
around.
flying creatures.
I'll use
Uh,
Babel for that for like if I need to.
I mean,
Like, I
you could
guess-
you could definitely get around faster for a short period because like the flight has a limited duration that you can use, kind of thing.
It still helps.
Oh,
How
it
long's it
definitely
last?
will. All right, so you'll
Now?
begin asking around for some trainers. Do you have an open proficiency slot, or are you going to have an open proficiency slot soon for animal training?
Let me check. I'm gonna check the list. I think when I raise my next level up, I might,
Okay.
but it would be in parentheses.
Let's see. What
Let's
level
see.
are you?
I'm level 10.
I think it's going to be at 12.
Oh, then no.
Yeah, it would be at 12 regardless because it's either 3 or 4. All right, so
Yeah. The main plan was if we were gonna be here for like 6 weeks, I'd try to find somebody that can at least teach Babel a few tricks.
you're going to be here for 2 weeks, which still might be enough time to get something done, or like you could start, saying that you're going to start learning some training techniques for when you do get that a proficiency slot, even if it's not going to be super soon.
That works.
But we'll address that in a bit. Finn said he was stepping away. Are you back yet, Finn? If you don't say anything, I will assume that you're not. All right, we'll come back to you. Leva, how about you?
Leva is going to sneeze in a second. Hay fever is
so-
fun. So Leva is going to buy some pearls, specials, if they have them.
Oh yeah, they got plenty available.
So she wants to buy a special pearl for 250, and she is going to buy how many? 3 of the 100.
You can just mark down how many you're buying and mark off the costs. That's fine.
All right.
Anything else that you want to do?
Not for the moment because I haven't thought of it.
Okay. Lafdul, going first to get some things sold.
In general, yes, I would also be going around with Finn at some point and asking around at various temples where he might find priests of Relafane if they're on this planet anywhere at all.
Okay. Let's see.
And how long that would take to travel to.
Okay.
So I assume they're not going to have one in the middle of the city.
Yeah, no, they won't, and I kind of want to wait for Finn to be back to interact with that. So, starting off with the stuff that you want to sell, we can handle the specifics of the selling after the session.
Yeah, it's just going to be, for the most part, gems or pieces of jewelry.
Yeah, you could
couple of
easily get all of
magical-
the jewelry sold off.
All of it?
I think
That's a
so.
lot of money.
I think so.
Well, I suppose it's a major city.
I'll double check because I'll need to look at the specific amounts.
It's more than like 50k's worth of just everything you can think of.
Yeah, I mean it is a major city, and they may end up giving you trade bars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we'll handle the details of it. You're not going to be able to sell absolutely everything. I'll figure out what like the kind of the cap is going to be on how much you can sell. But you will be able to sell a lot of gems and a lot of jewelry. Maybe not all of it, but quite a bit of it. All right, Finn. So Lafdul had mentioned some things that he wanted to do, but was there any with you? But let's go with what you specifically want to do.
Finn does need to buy a couple of tree taps.
Okay.
And probably a couple buckets.
Okay.
But I have no idea how much that would cost.
Neither do I. Give
Not
me a
much,
second.
I
I
would
can
think.
imagine a couple of silver at most for the tops.
Mhm.
Give me a
Oh
second.
yeah.
I'm going to
Solas,
double
what
check
do
the Aurora's Whole Realms catalog. If anything
How
has that, it would be. If anything has those, it might be that.
Solas would give Finn and Lafdul, since he knows that they are going to visit the forest, a list of ingredients that he needs for the scrollings.
If I to use them.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, just to point out a reference, 6,900,000 for the gems. That's just selling the 5k ones. That's not even selling any others.
Yeah, no, you're not going to be able to sell all of that by any means at all.
We're practically at 1 million gold pieces worth of stuff to sell.
All right.
Not even joking on that.
I will go with 10 gold pieces, Finn. I think that'll cover like all of that equipment that you might need.
Is this a wooden bucket or metal?
It would be wooden.
With like metal banding or
yeah,
leather banding, I don't know.
I mean, it fairly standard in construction, but specific to catching the.
Yeah, no, I
stuff.
was just wondering on Finn how Finn handles metal because you don't like it in general, but
he
just
can't
do
wear
it
metal
on
armor. He can use anything else that's metal. Like
all right.
all of his weapons. Like I mean, most of the.
Yeah, no, I wasn't nickeling down. I just
I know,
to
but like
a player.
Right, but most druid weapons are metal. Scimitars, spears, sickles. But it takes a lot less metal for that, and it's more the wearing of metal that's the issue.
Okay.
All right, so you get those tree taps, and we'll say that will cover 4. Does that sound good to you?
Sure.
All right. And the buckets. All right. What else?
Aside from refreshing spell components, if we need to, that's about all the shopping he had to do.
Okay, but you wanted to ask around about stuff?
Yes. About old forests and where treants might be known to be.
Okay. So the easiest way for you guys to find that is to, as Lafdul was kind of indicating he was interested in, would be taking the like just speaking to some priests of Rilithane Ralathil.
Okay.
Which they
Druid,
tend to not be in the cities. So you would get some indication on, like, they would know where to go to contact treants, but you could go to an old forest to find them, kind of thing. So you would learn that the forests of magic, like you talk to some elven priests and find out that you could get there if you take one of your smaller spelljamming vessels. You get there in about half a day. They'll give you directions to a very ancient forest with trees that tend to be 900 feet plus tall, kind of thing.
Okay.
Very, very tall trees. And there is a temple to Rilithane Ralathil there.
That'd be a good introduction to the Elven Druid deity, and obviously, if you want to get your spells from now, or questions. There is something else I need to do for my character. I just forgot.
What was that?
If I could see if there's any mischief makers in town.
All right, you'll begin looking around for that. There's
place,
not
any,
much of a
like-
seedy underworld in this town, but there are there absolutely would be mischief makers around, or priests and followers of Erevan.
It's hard to be underworld when everyone is flying.
The overworld. They disguise themselves as like flying clouds or something. I don't know. Different granted powers in this sphere. Now I will also quip to Alev that there are elven cats in this planet somewhere, I'd imagine. Don't go cussing off all the whiskers. They don't like that. They can, especially considering they can speak to you. Just realised I need elven whiskers for thought capture scroll.
Wait, elven cats can speak?
Yeah, but in Elvish. I think. Well, at least I believe so. I might be wrong.
Oh dear God.
It might be empathetic. I can't remember. I need to check out elven cats.
Well, you can like talk to some wizards to get information like that. Like, if anyone has gathered them, the whiskers, it would be wizards. So.
Oh, I didn't realize there were wizards there, but...
Oh yeah, I mean this town has some wizards. Some of the various towers are wizards' towers.
Yeah,
So
limited.
could Leva go and exchange spells with them?
You could certainly try.
She will.
So, first of all, Finn and Lafdul, you'd need to talk to the rest of the party about borrowing one of the ships.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking we could make do with the flitter.
How long would it take to actually fly for Finn, for example? Is this like a multi-day thing?
Yeah.
Is this like halfway across the planet or something?
It's not halfway across the planet, but I mean, part of it is that you'd be navigating through very rough terrain, and it would probably take about a day or two to fly normally. It's still within the kingdom, it's still within the realm, but it's in the boonies. Like it's out in the wilderness.
As far away
kind of
from the town as they can get.
Well, far away from any of the towns and cities and settlements and stuff like that. I mean, they have a little village there, but it's a little village. And the flitter, the main thing about the flitter is that like you two were going together to talk about this, and so you get directions as a Spelljammer would fly as opposed to as a winged creature would fly. And with the Spelljammer, you wouldn't have to take a break along the way. Like generally, other people would fly a bit, stop at an inn, fly more the next day, stop at another inn, that kind of thing. So, but it will probably take you guys a few days to get, at least a few days to get some stuff sold. Braxon, if you want to kind of like take charge of selling stuff overall, then you could do that while Finn and Lafdul are gone.
I suppose so. I thought Ockar normally did that, but Braxon could do it.
Ockar's
He used to do it before.
Charisma.
Yeah, but Braxton's got brilliant charisma. He'll get the best prices, won't he?
I think Lafdul's
Braxton's
typically
charisma?
handled selling gems and jewelry just because he has appraisal.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
15. I mean, I can.
It's
How
all right, I'm
long
joking.
How long are we away for? I imagine you are gonna have to sell stuff. We're gonna be away for a few days, and obviously.
Well, Finn, what exactly do you want out in the wilderness?
So I'm looking for sap from a tree that is over 1,000 years old,
Okay.
specifically an oak or maple tree.
Okay.
And I am looking to talk to an elder treant to see if I can convince him to give me a leaf.
Okay.
Or two.
All right.
Free.
And Lafdul, besides going along with him to talk
To find a sprite village, fairy village, so I can do whatever they require of me to see if I can get some dirt from a city core for my spell component.
Okay.
And otherwise I have to play a prank, something silly.
So
Might be a little hard, but I would have to find it after finding druids because they would probably know where they are.
yeah, this is not something that would take a day. You're probably looking at least a week away, the two of you.
Ooh. All right. Yeah, we're gonna be away.
The longer
I
you're
guess-
gone, the more likely you are to get what you need and to get more of what you want.
Well, between us, we're quite capable, but it means if we are rotating Spelljammer shifts, we won't have spells to protect the flitter unless we wait there for a day, unless we time it into.
Oh, I
such
mean,
a
you could
way-
you could just leave the flitter with the village.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's fault.
the flitter is mainly just to get you there, and then you're going to go off.
You'd have put a normal helm on the flitter, wouldn't you? Not the special.
That's at your discretion. You're the captain.
Yeah, I think we'd lock that special elven helm up in the storeroom,
Okay.
so that if somebody steals the flitter, they don't they don't get this price and sell an artifact that we're supposed to give back to the elf.
We're on an elven world, so
I
There
know,
are still
but, like,
elven thieves.
yeah.
fair enough.
Add non-elves here.
Yeah, Lafdul's not an elven thief. Totally not. No, they don't exist.
All right, so you mount a standard minor helm from your from the hilt on there.
We
Okay.
did have a spare helm for some reason. We stole a extra helm, I believe.
I think it was just difficult to sell me. Wanted a redundancy.
And we have one extra helm because the invisibility helm we have is only with us until we can return it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a loner.
Right, so you could put that one
Yeah.
on instead. Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Um,
Basically, I'm just saying when we need to do covert operations, we risk the elven helm.
Yeah. So would you two, Finn and Lafdul, spend like 2 days in town doing things and then go off on this thing? And then, you know, like you don't have to decide exactly when you come back beforehand. You can like see how much you can get done and how much you can get.
I'd cast no customs on a. I'll try and after spending a bit of time around town, I'll see who might likely be the likely candidate for. I find a trader, you know, someone that may know like the trader lingo, you know, customs might give me an edge, or whoever's selling stuff an edge.
That's fine. They get a saving
They
throw.
get yeah, they get a saving throw.
Okay.
I mean, I'd have 2 attempts. If I didn't get it today, I'll get it tomorrow.
Yeah, no. I mean, they're 0 level NPC, so their saving throw.
Saving throw is like 20.
Oh, I mean, it's not quite that bad, but it's close. All right, so does that sound good to you, Finn?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I would try to see if I can find any Mischiefmakers, or if not, if I can get a lead, maybe I can ask one of the party members to see if they can reach out the group.
Yes, you go around to the likely places, and it is not hard for you to find a Mischiefmaker, well, a follower of Erevan.
Hey, my own people. Sort of.
You learn that they don't really have a thieves guild here.
We're in a major city.
I'm sorry?
Oh, Thieves Guild, sorry.
Yeah.
Do they have a temple here?
There is a temple, and you learn that it is in a particular tavern on this day. It's a mobile temple.
Yeah, makes sense.
So you are able to go and do some worshiping. Is there anything in particular that you want to do
I want to
them?
see if they have a sanctuary to sell. The 25k one. I have noticed it's going to be pretty hard sell. Oh, did I disconnect?
Nope. I'm gonna roll some dice to see if they do.
Is it sanctuary? So the 25k one.
They do. They do actually have one. Let's see.
Do I have 25k? That is the question.
That's a good question.
Not quite close.
If you want to trade them a magic item.
Or you can always try to ask
Tell you what,
loan from other party members.
I just need to see how much money I actually have. Someone else do something when I'm adding stuff up.
I mean, again, you can trade them a magic item too, for part of the cost or all of the cost, depending on the item.
I'm
Do they
disappointed
want an
that
elven
this
short
time.
sword plus one? It's just something I've had in my room as a showpiece for ages.
That will definitely get you part of the way.
I'm disappointed that they didn't throw pies at the Lafdul's face this time.
Oh, they probably did.
Since it's a mobile temple, they don't, and this is like Averiel don't have as strong, like their connection to Erevan is weaker than High Elves and Grey Elves and Sylvan Elves. So that's one of the reasons why there isn't a Thieves Guild, is because like that aspect of Elven culture isn't as strong here as other Elven cities. Because again, like 90% of the elves you see are Averiel, winged elves. So it's like that alone is wondrous. There are other elves down in the valley, primarily down in the valley floor, and just by talking around, you'd learn that every single one of them either is or is the descendant of someone who came with Elven Imperial Navy fleets. Back during, around the time of the Unhuman War.
I have 19, roughly. When I say roughly, I mean I've not counted silver or anything lower than gold. 19,000 gold.
Got another item that you're willing to throw in?
That and the short sword plus one. How close does that get me?
It gets you enough that if you have another minor item to toss in.
Minor item. Ugh.
And obviously, anything that's
appropriate.
Yeah, anything that's appropriate for a Mischiefmaker or followers of Erevan will be worth more to them than it would be elsewhere, kind of thing. Like the short sword plus one is just generally useful, but it's not specific, so it's not like
it was just
value.
kind of like floating.
You should donate your old holy symbols. Like the boot.
I'm just looking around my items. I got lots of potions and stuff, but I don't know how short or how high I am. It's got that +3 spear that I don't know if I'll ever use it.
Let's see.
That's not a minor item.
Yeah, that's definitely not a minor item. That would be worth a lot more than the short sword, but it's up to you whether you want to put that in trade.
What else?
Is that the 7-foot spear with the head of steel etched with
Yes, the
okay.
command one.
Alright.
No, I was just thinking about it. It was just a name that I had. That
I mean, it would be
maybe-
worth way more than the short sword.
Oh yeah, I know it would be that one. The gold would be enough, or minus gold. I don't know. But I might use it. I'm seeing if there's someone else I can sell. Does anyone else got anything else to do while I'm doing this?
I mean, if you are switching from your was it shrine or idol to the sanctuary, why not
No,
give
I'm
that in
keeping the
trade?
idol. I'm gonna have one of each. I mean, more the merrier. There's more spell power to rotate my spells in when I need. I mean,
Do think that there would be a you wouldn't have to give it up now, and I'm not saying you have to give it up, but I do think that
you keep the most powerful one.
Yeah, your religious viewpoint would be kind of like pass on the weaker thing to
Ah.
other people. You don't have to do it now.
Traded in?
You don't have to do it now because you do have some things that still has some magic invested in it and stuff like that. But I am saying that eventually you would feel like an obligation to your church to pass it on to another worshiper, kind of thing. Sell it, pass it on, something of that nature.
Rather than trading it up now.
Yeah, you don't have to trade it. You don't have to trade it in right now. But I'm just saying that like there would be this like it feels greedy to you.
Oh no,
to
Question.
have
no,
that.
that's fine.
Question.
I don't have a problem with that.
If this is just a hypothetical, if let's say we had Lafdul establish a shrine for Erevan on our asteroid base, then would it be basically religiously okay to have the one in there and one with him on the ship?
I mean, I can
If you
enchant it with power. I mean, any lay follower can command the spells out of it.
right, but so the thing is like this is specifically a traveling shrine that aids traveling followers. If you put it in a fixed location, then there's no point in you having that as opposed to actual fixed sanctified stuff. And also, Erevan likes movement and
Or,
change.
like, yeah, constantly changing things up. Having it on a ship is fine because it's constantly moving around. So I am looking at. I mean, I've got potions. Now I'm looking at the potions. Has anyone else got something to do while I'm doing this? Because I really am looking through stuff more carefully.
Leva, are you there?
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to visit some mages. Is there anything in particular that you want?
Well, Leva wants to see whether they've got whiskers, which she totally forgotten about. Thank you very much. And but she would also see whether we can exchange some spells.
Okay. Let me see.
If Leva mentioned about going to this wizard, Solas would be with her, so that he could also exchange spells.
What do you need the whiskers for? I know that Lafdul needs it for thought capture scroll ink. I don't remember what you need it for.
For the
just a
cat's
second.
grace.
Isn't it Grace?
Cat's grace? Hold on a second.
Cat's
Yeah,
Grace.
elven whiskers.
Just a second, I can tell you.
Because old was
Elven
like, you were
cats.
casting that
Cat
spell
grace.
way too often.
Yeah, whiskers from an elfin cat.
Okay.
Whiskers, plural.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you you would be able to find a wizard who is willing to trade with you and get you some of those supplies. They would be able to supply you with 20 uses of Elven Cat Whiskers. So either for the thought capture scroll, ink, or your Cat's Grace spell. So you could do 10 for yourself, 10 for Lafdul, or 15 for yourself, 5 for Lafdul, something like you two can figure that out.
If
but
F bought an elven cat, how often would she be able to harvest the whiskers?
I
They're empathetic. They know, and they can have a crude form of communication. They know what you're doing, and they can verbalize that as well. So it's kind of like you're
Okay.
trading.
yeah, I don't know. Like I mean, these elves have a way of getting it somehow that is not harmful to the elven cat.
Yep. Okay.
You are like an elven cat is more of a companion than a pet.
Yeah.
So unless that's something that you're going to work on, work on having.
Could she?
I mean, again, you're looking at an actual companion. You've got to go find one who's willing to come with you, and then like convince them and stuff like that. So, but
Would Tayan like it?
I don't know what the like out of game. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure you can't just snip cat whiskers kind of thing. I don't know enough about cats to know what that would be like. So
Well, Leva likes cats, just like the player.
I'm inclined to say that you would not really be able to
Oh, okay.
do that.
Not outside of being like a ranger or something.
So Lafdul,
Druid.
Leva proposes 10 and 10.
Well, yeah.
Happy? Okay. And the wizard wants the 2 spells. Yes.
He's willing to sell the whiskers.
How much?
25 gold per usage, because they have to get them from elven cats. Even if there are elven cats around, it's not exactly something that you can just get a ton of all the time.
So we're at 25 per 250, 500 in total. So 250 each. Lafdul.
Oh, you get it. You just take all of them because I am spending almost all my money on this silly sanctuary right now. So if you want them, you buy as many as you can afford for yourself. I'm not desperate for nothing. So
just a moment, I write it down, otherwise I forget. So that's 20 cat whiskers at 25 each, correct? Yep. Okay, done.
all right, there's an offer old for the sanctuary.
Okay. They'll do that for 17,000.
Oh, all right. I have some money now.
Yeah.
Still, it's a mixture of gems and stuff. So
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so you can get that more powerful altar.
is it the third tier one, right?
Yes, it is. I'd have to go look it up. Exactly.
Yeah, Sanctuary is the
Sanctuary.
third tier.
I even though I already purchased the shrine, I have an icon currently. I purchased a shrine along with Solas. But yeah.
Did you already pay for the other one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shrine.
Well,
I got it off the Syndia line.
You can sell it or give it on to other followers then. All right.
Spell exchange.
Yes. So he has no named spells for like Melf's Acid Arrow kind of thing. And he primarily has just common spells from like the player's handbook.
Oh.
He's not willing to. He has some personal spells that he's developed himself. He's not willing to exchange them though.
For what level he has the spells?
Up to 5th.
Including 5th.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So no named spells, but other than that, he has spells.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Except that I don't know what spells I would
And only spells from player's handbook.
Just realised I have 3 filters above, not 2. I just have 1 that I'm carrying on me. 2 are in my safe.
I don't even know why you carry one of those on you unless you.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Be prepared.
They're incredibly useful when you need something. And it's a lot easier to convince someone to give you something if they're in love with you. Lafdul's Chaosic Nutri held no bars for that thing.
Fair enough.
So yeah, Leva remembers this horse love fling she had at one point. Totally doesn't hold a grudge against Lafdul. Totally forgotten.
I mean,
So-
after you've been
Good.
here in the port for a few days, for like the 2 weeks or close to that, and you've kind of been around asking around, you might have access to some other wizards who might have more interesting spells, but the only one willing to be like, sure, is not, by no means is the strongest wizard around, kind of thing.
Okay.
I mean,
Can
even if the spells are not the named ones, there's quite a lot of useful spells that are not the named ones.
Yeah, I'll have to postpone that because I don't know those spells as well as some other people do.
Yep, that's fine.
I want to
Ah.
read through and check and then
Mhm.
decide which one.
Yeah, you can decide for next week.
Up to how many spells can we get?
I mean, it's basically like a day of studying with him to get one spell. So,
Yeah.
and he'll only do a 1-to-1 trade of a similar level. So if he doesn't want any, like if you want a 4th level spell and you don't have any 4th level spells that he wants, then you're not going to get one.
Okay,
So
sounds reasonable.
yeah. But like for example, if you have Melf's Acid Arrow, you can basically easily get a 2nd level spell because he's never seen Melf's Acid Arrow before.
Well, the problem is I have so many 2nd level spells that.
Right. Well, I was using that as an example because that's just the a named spell that popped into my head most easily.
Answer's floating disc.
If someone's got that, then you get a 1st level. Yeah. So, but my point being is that if you have a named spell at a specific level, that's going to be the easiest way for you to get access to a spell of that level. So
So
you
would
have,
he be interested in Bobcat's superior identification?
he might be.
Okay.
I will
Yeah,
just say
you're-
decide on a spell that on spells that you want, and then we'll see if there's anything that you have that he wants in exchange, kind of thing.
Okay.
And we can do that next week too. That's fine.
All right. That sounds good.
Ockar, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you ask around about training Beowulf, and you do find an elven trainer of Kushi, elven hounds, elven dogs, who is willing to talk to you. Let me take a look at the animal training proficiency. Let's see. I want to see how long it takes. So he's good enough that the training for a specific trick requires 2d6 weeks. I'm going to say that you can get that done in 2 weeks. A single specific trick. If you want to basically spend most of your time with him and Beowulf training for a specific trick.
Okay.
You don't have to decide right now. You can look over the proficiency and think about something for next week.
Yeah. The best I can think of at the moment is a general like prick for like if he's with somebody else so that they can tell him to attack something if needed.
Yeah. That would definitely work. If you want to just PM me during the week and let me know.
Okay.
And because he is like very skilled, like one of the reasons why he's going to be able to do this so quickly, part of it is because Beowulf is intelligent, much more intelligent than a normal animal. So that helps. He's also extremely skilled, but that's also going to cost money. So that will be 1,000 gold pieces.
I can afford that.
Okay. Now, you can also mark this down as kind of the start of getting that proficiency if you want. If you mark it down as the start of getting that proficiency and you never end up getting the proficiency, that's fine too. Because, like, while you're there, you'll be picking up tips and tricks for general animal training for Beowulf.
I'll just put that in my notes.
Okay.
Just like my mining proficiency. That I don't yet have because I don't have the one. I need one more proficiency slot for it.
Does he also have any books or like manuals or anything about animal training that I could study on my own time?
Yeah, he could sell you a general like hound training manual that could also go towards a proficiency slot, and that would go for 150 gold.
Yeah, I'll buy that too.
Okay. And if you say that you're spending time working on that, then as soon as you have a free slot that you want to take, I'm perfectly fine with you just like basically instantly getting the slot. Because that book will be good enough for that.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea to me.
Okay.
So I'll buy the book and I'll have him with training Beowulf.
Okay. Let's see. So Finn and Lafdul, do you want to kind of like start role playing out, heading out to get what you want?
Yeah. So I was just adding up how I am paying for this.
All right, that's fine.
So I'm marking obviously those items off.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Okay, so after a couple days in port, you head out together, following the directions to the Temple of Ralathil and the small village. It's a small village nestled amongst these gigantic, absolutely massive trees. It almost feels like that Giant's Bakery in this size comparison. So I don't think any of you, either of you, have seen trees quite this tall and this large. They're massive, massive trunked trees.
Unique to this.
Yeah, I mean, there's.
There might be something on Toro though. I've never seen it. So
Yeah, I mean they're fairly unique to this planet so far as you know. Although they're still your conifers and deciduous trees. They're just larger and taller. And you find out that that's fairly normal. There are other places with trees more to your expected size, but these are very common around here. They're a little bit initially suspicious of you, but after you introduce yourselves and talk about what you are, and they recognize Finn's in particular affinity for nature, they warm up a bit more to you. What do you specifically want to ask first?
Well, I will actually greet them in the Druid secret language as well.
All right. Only some of them are druids, so they would they would recognize that.
And then I would just mention, this is what I've come to look for.
Okay, so you're looking for a tree that's 1,000 years old, oak or maple. They will give you some directions to where a stand of trees are that old, of that type. Where you are right now is kind of higher up on a mountain slope, and there are conifers around you, which actually makes like the floor of this area is just like almost paths paved with brown dried conifer needles. It just naturally, like there are bushes around that have sprouted up, low light bushes and stuff like that. But so many needles fall that it kind of creates pathways around, and it's a very picturesque environment. But they give you some directions on where some deciduous trees are of the same size, and easily any of those will be many hundreds of years old. You'll still need to search for one that's specifically that old, but they're pretty confident that you'll be able to find one in that area at least. And it'll be oak or maple. There's a mixture of trees down that way.
Excellent.
As for a treant, they say that there are some in the forests. They're very hard to find, and they can try to go out and let some of the forest creatures know that you're looking for one. They'll ask what your intention is with the treant.
I'll tell them that, something I'm attempting to create requires leaves freely given from an elder treant, so I was going to talk to them and see if I could exchange a service for leaves.
Okay. They will put out a word, and if any treants come visit you, then you'll know that one of them has taken up your offer. You can still look for on your own as well. But if you don't find any and none of them come to you, then that will kind of indicate that none are interested in dealing with you.
Okay.
Let's see. I am going to roll a charisma check to see if one will eventually find you. Well, a reaction adjustment. What is your charisma reaction adjustment?
Is this private? Sorry.
+3.
Okay. That's up to Finn whether it's private or not. Are you talking to
this part of it? I'd probably be talking in Druid secret. So
okay.
I would have gone off
since
to
I had established that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Don't worry, I'll let you in on it later.
No, I was going to ask the pixies or someone if they've seen a treant, because they're also nature folk.
Okay. All right. So Lafdul, you're going off on your own?
I'd ask the druids if they could, if there's any pixie encampment that's within walking distance, and how long it would take to get there, etc. Or
Upon your question, they'll the priest that you're talking to will give a good laugh and say, "I'm sure they've already noticed your arrival. They're all over the place here."
Oh, all right. I just walk out to the forest somewhere.
Okay.
Have fun.
Yeah.
All right. So, Finn, you head out with the directions given to you, or is there anything else that you want to ask about?
Well, if Lafdul's not interested in going with me, I'll just start heading off.
Okay.
Well, I guess we had to do our own separate things, that's all. I mean, if you indicate that we should go together and we can both do our things, then yeah, I'll go with you and you can come with me and my thing.
I don't
after.
see why we couldn't.
All right, then we'll go together.
I'm sure
We'll-
the pixies will be interested in speaking with you shortly after we leave.
We'll start following
And I'll
us.
probably be very amused by how that plays out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you two head in the direction of the deciduous trees, and that'll take you about 4 hours of travel. The priests of Rilliphane have agreed to watch over your elven flitter while you're out.
Oh, and Lafdul,
Mm-hmm.
when we encounter a treant, don't display any axes or fire of any kind.
Lafdul looks at his dagger of ice and fires a sad face. No, it's fine. I know this is
They
important to you,
really
so-
don't like either one of those.
I've heard stories. I don't have an axe on me anyway. It's just dagger of ice and fire.
All right, so you travel for about 4 hours down the slope. It gets pretty steep at times, so you really have to pick your way through it. But there are abundant wild animals. You find some berry bushes along the way and stop and have some, and they're quite tasty. And it's just a lovely spring day as you travel. Definitely closes in on evening. I think you guys, since you knew that you were going to be out here for a while, you would have taken your camping supplies, I think.
Side note, I would I have known to ask the druids, or should I have asked? I mean, Finn, being a druid, probably would know where to find widow gallnuts. I mean, obviously, I've got to wait to see if it rains, but would
Find what? I'm sorry.
I have a spell component for cure moderate wounds, and that is powdered willow gallnuts harvested after spring rain. And obviously, me and Solas were trying to figure out if this was spring. It was. So,
Yep.
Would Finn know enough about willow gallnuts to know where they are? Or would I have to ask the other druids, being more local? Is this a hard thing to find?
Finn absolutely would know.
All right, so it's just a case of seeing if it's going to rain.
Yep.
Well, if you wanted to know that, then I can tell you tomorrow.
Oh, all right.
Where is my thing? There we go.
I probably would have taken camping spells as well, like to reduce the likelihood of us being attacked and stuff.
If only you could cast Leomund's tiny hut.
Yeah, well, maybe I have to come up with my own variation. Maybe not that type of spell, but completely different. You know, hidey ho, as it were.
Okay. All right.
Circular privacy was the reduced combat, and me and Finn, we both have great campsite, so.
All right, so you find a likely location. There's a good campsite. It would stay dry if it rains. Plenty of trees around, and it's fairly close to a bunch of berry bushes as well.
Sorry, quick question.
Mhm.
How long would this take to travel?
You traveled for about 4 hours.
Oh, never mind.
So it's
This is whether or
it's
not
evening
I
at
needed
this
like easy march memorized
No.
stuff.
But it will be evening as you get there. As you find your campsite, the sun is definitely going down. And given the high mountains and tall trees and everything like that, it gets dark real fast.
No
so you-
fire, so continual light stones are fine now. If we need to.
If
that-
you take the
yes.
proper precautions to set up a campfire, that might be okay. I mean, it's up to Finn. He can veto that if he wants. It's just a case of
Fire is disrespectful, isn't it? Or if it's done in the right
As
Mana.
long as it's done safely so it won't spread, and done only from shed branches and nothing that's been cut.
I am not
They shouldn't have a problem with it.
I am not touching fire. If you want to do the fire, you can do the fire. I can see myself messing it up.
I mean, it'll get chilly tonight, so a fire, and if you want to do some
I
hunting
got
for
aura
some
comfort,
food,
so
all right,
Lafdul came prepared.
it's entirely up to you guys.
Finn will set a very small fire surrounded by rocks,
Okay.
mainly for cooking purposes.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to do any hunting before you get to sleep, Finn?
Yeah, I could probably go out for an hour or two just to maybe get some camp meat.
All right.
I probably wouldn't look for anything big though. There's only 2 of us.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a hunting proficiency check, please. Okay. You don't even need that 2 hours. You pretty quickly find like a wood grouse kind of thing, a bird that's plenty of food for both of you. Bring it back and roast it up for you two to eat. And then you bed down
Thank
for
you,
the night.
Finn. Dinner is nice, I guess. It's nice to be out in the forest now and again.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I probably
It's
don't appreciate it as much as he does, but I still like being out.
It's very peaceful. It's very calm.
At the moment, wait till the pixies come. It will be
There's
peaceful.
there's also like an unusual amount of birdsong. Like
Wow.
Finn, this is like I mean, you're used to ample birdsong in forests and stuff like that. This is an unusual amount. There's a lot of it.
I guess there is a second spell I'm going to want to memorize in the morning then.
I'll speak with animals or something.
Yep.
Yeah, it could be useful. I might memorize that as well. Well, I don't think I would know that Averiali priests now speak with avians.
I'm sorry. What's the question?
I wouldn't know what other
Not really.
priest branches their unique spells.
No.
All
right. So the night passes uneventfully, and you wake up early the next morning as the sun is rising. How do you guys want to go about your next few days, kind of thing?
Well, the first thing is I need about 50 minutes to memorize some different spells.
Yeah, I would probably need about the same time, actually. I would be taking speak with... I'd actually need a bit longer, actually, because I need speak with animals as well. But I'm also replenishing the 4th level camp spell. I forgot what it's called. Circle of Privacy.
Okay.
Actually, I would have asked him about that. Do you want to be encountered in the night? Because this might magically make us invisible to him, or just not see us.
Well, I don't think there's that much that's hostile around here.
It just says discourages predators and trespassers. I mean, if someone's intent is not to be a predator or a trespasser, etc., I guess the spell wouldn't affect them. Would I know that?
You're not really sure exactly. That is definitely something that you'll have to experience to find out if that is how it works.
I probably forego going in with just chance combat. I don't imagine.
I think we can go without it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Finn, what how do you want to like?
So while he's finishing up what he's doing, I'll cast weather prediction then.
Okay. Is there a chance of that working?
I think the next day is. Well, let me see here.
Isn't it guaranteed? And then every few days,
every
down.
day there's a lower percentage or something like that.
Yeah. Sounds similar to what I remember.
Third level. Weather prediction. Let's see. I become aware of the prevailing conditions, trends, weather systems that may have affected my present location. Temperature, wind speed, direction, cloud cover, and precipitation can all be predicted with 95% accuracy for the next day, less 10% for each day after that.
Okay. And your only real goal is, other than just getting general information to know if a big storm's going to be coming, is to know if if there's going to be some rain that you can then go find some willows and harvest.
Yep.
Let's
And
go nuts.
I get up to 9 days worth.
Okay.
Yeah, I doubt I'm going to
let's
be out
see.
here for that much longer. Actually, as a curiosity, would I know anything about Pegasus lore? As in, would I know if there'd be Pegasus in this very heavily flying, eccentric sphere?
I'll get to that in a second. So it is it's fairly cloudless, or just like light clouds for most of the next week. Higher chance of some showers at the end of the week leading into next week.
Okay, I
But you're
will
also
relay
dealing
that to him.
Yeah, you're also dealing with lower percentage accuracy on those. So.
Well, that might be good.
All right, so Lafdul asking about Pegasi. Most of what you know, most of what you know about them is your kind of generic legendary information.
Something I should have asked the druids.
Yeah, maybe they're only 4 hours away, so you could always go back and ask at some point. Are there any around here? You have no idea. They're winged creatures, so maybe?
If anywhere was a place to find them, it would be on this planet. Probably.
So, give me an intelligence check.
I mean, they're mythical, magical creatures.
No. Give me an intelligence check.
Yeah, 14.
Okay. One of the races, one of the races on this planet they're not like particularly abundant, but they do exist. Are actually winged centaur creatures called pegatars. There's a couple small nations of them around. So you can draw from that whatever conclusion you want to. Maybe they're related, maybe not. But that's something that you know exists on this planet.
No, I was thinking I need a feather from a Pegasus.
Okay. All right.
I'm just changing out my spells. That was all.
And you're gonna head out into the range out around from the campsite, trying to find fairy folk, Lafdul?
Yep.
Okay.
Making myself a very vulnerable person to Cranky because they can't resist that.
Okay. And Finn, and that's kind of hold on, sorry. That's kind of what you're gonna be doing day by day, Lafdul?
Yeah, trying to find them, listening out.
Okay. If there's any things that you want to collect while you're out there, you can think about that and let me know for next week as well. Finn, what is kind of your day-to-day gonna look like?
Well, I'll, make sure to take care of the fire so there's no trace of it left.
Mhm.
And other than that, it's just moving towards the deciduous forest.
Okay. Yeah, I mean you're basically within the edge of it. It's you're where it has transitioned from the coniferous forest into the deciduous forest. So downslope from you, it'll get even more fewer and fewer conifers and stuff like that. And you're just going to be going out kind of a pattern search looking for one that's old enough.
Yep.
Okay. And you specifically need sap from one of these two types of trees that's older than 1,000 years, correct?
Correct.
That's the only requirement. Okay. Give me a wisdom check at half your score.
Okay. Yeah, just missed.
Okay. You do not find any trees matching that on your first day.
Okay. Well, we were planning on being out here for a couple of other days.
Yeah. So what is half your score?
Half my score would be 9.
Okay. Give me a second to see if you'll find that in the next few days.
Yeah, if I don't find it by the 3rd day, I have something else I'm going to try. So.
Okay. You will find that on the 2nd day. You'll find an oak tree, or an oak-like tree that you believe will suffice. That is
Okay.
pretty clearly quite old. Do you have a no age just to be sure?
I do.
Do you want to cast?
And
do you
I
wanna
will
hold
do
on?
so.
Okay. Yeah, that tree is a good 1,500 years old. It's a bit
Okay.
more gnarled than the others.
So I will carefully install a tap to it
Okay.
and put a bucket on the tap and wait till I've got a bucket full.
All right. Do you want to continue looking for other trees?
If there's any in the immediate area, yeah.
Okay. Well, I meant like over the course of the next few days.
Wouldn't hurt to have a couple of extras.
Okay. While that's filling up, then on the 4th day, you will also find another one.
Okay. So I'll tap that one as well.
Okay. Lafdul. Anything in particular that you're doing? I mean, are you also looking for signs of fairy villages and stuff like that?
Yeah. I'd be singing, traveling, looking around for like
Okay.
signs of life, like natural, like looking things, like hidey holes inside, like areas with a lot of hidey holes, like hollows and trees.
What is your charisma reaction adjustment?
React +3, 15.
Okay, same as Finn. All right. So, you actually very quickly find some.
Oh,
Yeah, about
they find me or I find them?
no, you actually find a the signs of a village in one of the trees. And you would you like call out to them, approach them, kind of thing?
I would attempt to excuse myself, but announce myself in Pixie that hopefully Finn has been teaching me enough to start speaking the language.
All right, you
Been
don't have
learning for several
the
weeks.
slot for it, right?
Yeah, I do.
You do have the slot?
Yeah, when I went up in intelligence, I had a language and a proficiency.
Okay. And you've been learning that through the phlogiston, right?
Yeah, that was dual crafting, so like every few hours at the end of the day.
Okay, then indeed you have you can mark down that you know that language.
Ooh, yay, Pixie.
And
So I just write Pixie or say wood sprite or no, it's Pixie.
It's just Pixie. Unless you learned Sprite. It's not wood sprite, it's
No.
Sprite. Like
No,
they're two different languages. Okay. So you call out in Pixie, and after a moment,
show mercy on this weary traveler.
you kind of sense like some air currents around, moving around you, and a high-pitched voice giggles and says, "Well, you're an unusual one. Where are your wings?"
Oh, Lafdul uses outer self to gross. Actually, I shrink myself, then I'd use outer self to make myself look like Pixie. Hold on, let me change to something more appropriate. I do that. I shrink myself down and use outer self.
Oh, you're a funny
I-
one who can change. But you didn't have wings
Yes.
before. Where are they? Did someone take them? Did someone steal them?
No, my god loves playing practice. See, one day he gives me wings, and another day he takes them away again. He's really mischievous.
Oh, he sounds
know,
fun.
Yeah, I could be flying over a building and then, or flying from a treetop, and they just disappear, and I'd fall and hit my face on the floor.
Well, you like fun, right?
Yep.
Follow me. And you can
I follow.
you
I
can,
have bat sense if needed. True sight.
So, the fairy creature doesn't fully become visible, but you can see a bit of a sparkling light going off in one direction into the woods.
Yeah, this isn't going to last forever. My form's about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Reliably.
And it's moving pretty quickly, so you're gonna have to
If
run
I'm
after it.
taking, if I'm flying at pixie form, actual what's the flying speed? Pixie's like C, so I'd be like F, D, E, rather.
E, yes.
Unless I was unless I was an Atomy, and that would be. Would I know an Atomy would be appropriate?
You're not sure exactly what creature you're dealing with right
No, I
now.
would have gone with Pixie. Let's say, unfortunately, I'd apologize that my form is not quite fast enough, so it may be faster for me to. I don't know, actually.
So let's see. Pixie, you move at a third speed?
Yep, and 2 categories worse.
Okay, so maneuverability class D.
Oh.
And
Oh, that's gone down to F.
No. You're at D.
Oh, it was B?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're moving at a movement rate of 4.
Oh, that's slow.
It's definitely outpacing you.
There's nothing I can do about that, really. Literally, I could just spell and run along the ground.
Yeah, you could do that.
I say, would you like me to travel along the ground? It's much faster for me if I'm taking my normal form. Unfortunately, I'm very slow in your form.
Well, then change back, silly. Don't be a slowpoke.
I dispel magic myself.
Okay. And Lafdul is led off in the forest, into the forest by a fairy.
What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? We're gonna have to find out what could possibly go wrong next time.
Don't give you a week to prepare. Gauntlet Lafdul.
But
Lafdul was taken away and never seen again.
I need to decide just how mean I want to be. Come on, you know. You know. I mean, and I might not actually be mean. Who knows? But indeed, we will have to find out what happens to Lafdul next week. Let's see. That is going to be okay.
Nope.
All right.
Let's not do it.
That will be 2,000 experience for Braxon, Leva, and Solas.
2,000.
Yep. 3,000 XP for Finn.
Where did I put my character sheet?
That's a good question. 4,000 XP for Lafdul. And 7,000 XP for Ockar.
2,000. That's not bad.
Wow. 7,000 is a lot.
You're the one who decided to make the sacrifice. And
Kind of fits in with Paladin.
and it fits in with being a paladin, yeah. So that's like you got
Personal sacrifice for
mhm.
the greater good.
You're getting more than other people would have. All right, so we'll find out what else people want to do back at the Elven City, and what has happened to Lafdul, and whether Finn will have an encounter with an Elder Treant, all next time.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for the game.
Thanks for the game. Take care, everyone.
So we shall be back next week. See you next time, everyone, and thanks for watching, and thanks for playing, my players. See you then, everyone.